look at day 15, man.
Well, was it funny?
Oh, man, that was a good one.
Dude, listen. Let me tell you what happened to me. So, I went to, we'll talk about this next week. I went to the mountain where, so there's this mountain, the Mountain of Light, the cave where the Prophet Muhammad would go into to meditate. Mm-hmm. So I go up there in the middle of the night because it's during Ramadan, so I wanted to have the suhoor while I was there. So I'm up there and all this kind of stuff, and then we pray Fajr. You're standing there, and there's a place to pray Fajr. So you're maybe about 2 miles outside, so in the distance you can see the Kaaba and the lights and all that kind of stuff. You're standing there praying Fajr, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this monkey coming. Oh my God. So I'm afraid that the monkey's gonna attack me.
Really?
Yeah. Next thing I know, he grabs my ugly backpack that you don't like. Yes. He grabs that and he's going down the side of the mountain.
He's sending out monkeys.
Yes. Then listen, I chase after him. I'm going barefoot. I'm hopping over the railing. I'm going down the side of the mountain that's got garbage and trash and all this stuff at a 45 degree. It had my passport, it had my ID, it had my money, it had my camera, a fresh pair of underwear, it had all of that. And then it stops, and I didn't have time to grab something to throw at it. I can't throw a water ball, it's going to. It stops, and it's like, I'm like, oh crap. And then, and then I stop. I'm like, this is not the country you want to get rabies in if he attacks you, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm still chasing after it, and then like, literally, all I did, I was like, oh, I literally felt like crying. I was almost about to cry because I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even able to get out of the country with no passport because after you can exits there. Yeah, exactly. It's not like here, you can go anywhere you want to. Yeah. And the only thing I did, I was like, oh God, help me. And literally, 2 seconds later, I turned the corner, and my bag is just right there, and the monkey is gone.
Only on the after show.
Oh, the monkey is gone. I put that on my back. I pick up the stick, and I look up, and everyone is on the railing looking, and they got this grin on their face. So somewhere in Turkey, there's a legend of the white dude that ran after the monkey on the side of the mountain at dawn.
Oh man!
Oh my God! For the next 2 hours, my heart was pumping so fast, and I walked around with that stick. And the funny thing was, I think that monkey was following me afterwards. Like I knew you got that, and I'm like, okay. So here's the thing: when it first stopped, and it hissed at me, it grabbed the bag and it was going like this to try to tear it open because I had food in there for my suhoor. Chicken.
How big was the monkey, man?
The size of your son. That thing was like, listen.
I would have pushed that monkey.
I couldn't catch up to him. I'm running this way, he's going behind, I'm running that way, and I'm like, my legs are gonna get caught, I'm gonna get tetanus.
Oh man.
And then I put it on my bag and I'm coming up, and they're all just looking at me, and I'm like, that's right.
That's incredible.
Then people are trying to feed the monkey, and I'm like, no, these monkeys have disease. You don't want to feed them. I swear it was stalking me because the whole time down the mountain,
dude, that monkey was working for somebody.
The whole time down the mountain, that monkey was following me like.
Oh man.
That's what my father-in-law said. That like, yeah, it was just, it was just like, wow.
Story of the monkey.
But literally, I think that was one of the few times in my life that I felt completely helpless. Completely, absolutely, like, just,
Wow.
It's just like,
cool, thanks. Did you want to shift to the other room, or?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to continue this for just a little bit.
What is this?
Every time I give money to the girls,
20, 40. I'm only giving you 20s for whatever I see. If it's on.
Oh no, you playing with money? It's about something going down in the studio today.
Thanks, Salvin. What about the guy that's coming in afterwards?
Send a recorded show.
Oh, record. Oh, we need to get Selvin to come in that show, man. He's our Latin attaché. Yeah.
What is that?
An attaché is like a representative. He's a representative to the Latin world. Attaché.
Okay.
It's a French word.
Oh, there we go. Come on.
If I remember, you said Ecuador, right?
Guatemala. What's going on, guys? It's the after show. Seems Hadi's over there having his own after show for whatever reason, so I guess he'll join me in a second. So we just got off of the show talking about Hajj. We had a good friend of mine on, as you would know, Bilal, who went last year, who was sharing his journey to Mecca with us, you know, and how it went. The blog really is excellent. Like, you guys got to check it out. I'm gonna try to notate it somewhere around here or something. I don't know. I don't really do a lot of notations, but yes, Journey to Hajj, and that's HAJJ.com. But yeah, it's a pilgrimage that is required by all Muslims to go on, and I think one thing that I've been noticing, well, then again, I'm not that old either, but I've definitely noticed that there are more younger people that are trying to go. I guess growing up, I know, like when my father went, it always seemed like it was just like mostly older people, older in age, you know. And there are promises from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, you know, if you complete the pilgrimage and it is accepted, then the reward is that all of your sins are cleansed from you. You return as if you were a newborn baby. And I guess you kind of got to think, like, well, hey, you know, if I can save that for the later part of my life and, you know, kind of expunge everything, you know, alhamdulillah. It's not really playing the system, you know, or anything like that. But at the same time, you know, you don't know when that time is going to be. You don't know that you're going to have those later in life years, you know. I mean, fact of life is that life ends all the time. You know, you can die at any age, but that still doesn't remove the fact that the Hajj is something that is required of every Muslim. You know, I guess, like, for me personally, I mean, it's definitely something that I think is coming a little more to the forefront in terms of the goal to be able to complete and accomplish. You know, a lot of people, you know, telling me before I had my son, you know, your wife should go and, you know, get it done while you're young and everything. And that was all fine and dandy, but, you know, I mean, it is something that you definitely need to be mentally prepared for. You know, because I think it's a lot. I guess when you're looking at the actual time frame of it, it's really not that long of a period. You know, I mean, 2 weeks and, you know, 2-3 weeks can fly by. You know, we all can attest to that. The time is just constantly on the move, We're always doing something for this, always doing something for that, always doing something for the show, or, you know, I mean, it's always something. So the time just flies by. But, you know, to be able to take this short period of time out of your life and complete this duty that exceeds any other duty, you know. I mean, this is we're talking about God here. We're talking about Allah, and you know, when you have a duty to Him, it's on a whole different level. It's on a whole different scale, and I think for me, you know, it really comes down to prioritizing, and you know, I think for a lot of people, you know, especially if you can do it financially, you know, you don't have children and things that's in the way. Yeah, it is good to go ahead and do it, not necessarily to get it out of the way. I mean, if it was up to me, I mean, especially as wonderful as of a journey as a lot of people, you know, come back. Really, everybody comes back and says, "Wow, this was amazing. This is enlightening. This is a spiritual gift, you know, almost not almost, it is. It's a gift from Allah to be able to do that, to be able to complete that, to be able to learn from it, to be able to bring back the stories and the experience, but also have that that internal spiritual growth from the journey. I mean, that's irreplaceable. So yeah, it's it's a lot. Get those priorities right. I don't know what this guy's doing back here, but him and our engineer just talking it up. It's about to be a one only solo after show. I'm not gonna be here all day. But yeah, so there was a couple things, when I guess going into the show, I really was doing a little bit more research on the Kaaba itself. Because I mean, you gotta, like a lot of people call it the black cube, basically, which, as we stated in the show, it's not really black. There's a covering that's on it, and what I was reading is actually that those coverings get changed. I think the coverings get changed once a year. The actual Kaaba gets washed 1 month before Ramadan, and then 1 month prior to the Hajj. Where the Kaaba is actually washed with a combination of Zamzam water and I think Polynesian rose water. I think that's what it's called correctly. Never would have known, and over time, what I was reading is that the Kaaba was at one point was damaged from the weather, from the rain, and actually, because the Hadi I brought up during the show that it was damaged, I guess, in the 20s. But there was another point, I think actually 2 other points where it had actually gotten damaged from rain and hail and things like that. Because initially the top of the Kaaba was made out of wood, which since has all of the wood and all of the stone has since been replaced from just time, from damage. There was some wars or attacks on the Kaaba from different enemies of Islam over time that had actually damaged the Kaaba itself. But it's always been rebuilt. It's always been rebuilt. And another thing, I believe that it was said that the Prophet Ibrahim was actually buried either near or around or somewhere near where the foundation ends or something like that. That I don't know, but that's very interesting. I might have to look more into that. But at one point, the Kaaba was actually extended because if you look, there is a kind of like a round wall that I think is on the northeast side or the northeast corner of the building. And at one point, the Kaaba was actually extended, and instead of just being a more of a cube, it was actually more of a rectangle with a rounded side. I guess I don't really know how to explain that shape, but yeah, it was basically a rectangle with a rounded side. So that wall was actually part of where the foundation was when that was erect. But there was a point where it was torn down again, or it was damaged again, because when it was built with that extended part of it. That was after the Prophet had passed, and it was I believe it was said Aisha had said that the Prophet had wanted to add another door to it and make some different changes to the Kaaba, but he was never able to do it in his lifetime. So at the point where it was damaged, or I can't remember if it was actually just rain damage or weather damage or damage from an attack, that it was rebuilt with in the way that he had wanted it, and that lasted for some time. And then I believe when at some point either tribal war or regional war had caused damage to the Kaaba again, when the area was, I think, reclaimed by another people. the Kaaba was the part that was there was taken away, and it wasn't until after it was constructed, well, the reconstruction was complete, where it was back to the box, the square that as we see it now, where the ruler that was in charge of doing that, when he found out that it was actually extended and made in the way that the Prophet was had wanted it to be. He was upset. He was disappointed that he had actually brought the Kaaba back to it. I guess its original, more box shape. But I guess it was under. I'm sorry, I'm not good with names, so I mean, I'm kind of, there's a lot of information going on here. But at another point, there was they were gonna go ahead and rebuild it again the way that the Kaaba was, according to how the Prophet had wanted it to be. But they said no, the Kaaba is not to be just taken as a joke, or it's to be torn down and rebuilt. Every time there's a different ruler, different king, almost like a toy. It's not there to be, okay, let me make the Kaaba the way that I want to make the Kaaba. It has its purpose, and since then it has been left as it is. In that that cube shape. So I mean, it's a lot of history, and that probably wasn't the best overview of, I guess, the destruction and rebuilding of the Kaaba. But I mean, it was new information to me. I don't know, maybe it might spark your interest in do a little bit of research. But that was real interesting. I never really knew the history of of the Kaaba. I mean, it's a pretty significant structure. I mean, you got to think it's the one structure, the one place that unifies every praying Muslim on earth. And I say praying Muslim because I won't go on there. You know what I mean. But it's every person on the earth faces the direction of the Qibla when they pray, and that unifies a lot of people on earth. Over time, over history, that we have this one commonality in common, that when we pray to Allah, we all face the same direction. I mean, could you imagine walking into a masjid and you got one brother that's praying that way, and 10 more brothers that's praying that way, and 5 more brothers that's praying that way? That's not where the unification and the prayer is. So by just simple wisdom, of having one location on the entire earth that everyone prays to, that's incredible. That's incredible. And to have literally millions of people flocking to this place once a year, and being, like Bilal was saying, so many people crammed in, where 2 hours after Jumu'ah is complete, you still cannot even move. You can barely turn around left or right. That's immense. That's pretty spectacular. So, inshallah, everybody, that has the intention of making the Hajj will, inshallah, in this lifetime, be blessed and granted to make the Hajj, complete the Hajj, and have their Hajj accepted, along with all of their prayers and dua, and inshallah, all of their sins will be forgiven, as promised by Allah. Inshallah, that'll be granted to every Muslim on the face of the earth. Still don't know what this guy's doing. I don't know. Must be a really good conversation. I might as well left the camera in there. Yeah, I was saying, you wanted to move the AfterShow up over here, but I don't know. He's about to get left. Even though he does owe me some money. Tell you, man, doing business with some people can be interesting. No, I'm joking. It's cool. Hey, Hadi!
Yeah, come in.
So, it's just that simplicity of things.
This guy. So, yeah, I guess I'll take this time to pitch a little bit. Look, what we're doing now, our initial goal was to talk to some businesses and maybe have a couple businesses support what we're doing. I think what we want to do is make sure that our focus and structure of the show and where we're going with it is beneficial and pleasing to everybody. And quite frankly, I don't think we're really going to get the business support that we're looking for, simply because the avenue in the segment of radio that we're in, being on AM, not having the same, I guess, listener base, and still growing our own listener base, is not, prime real estate for advertisers to put, advertisements in, which we still gladly welcome. But I think right now, we're trying to be here as a benefit to the people. So the thing is, if you support what we're doing, what's up, Slowpoke? If you support what we're doing, you'll hit the door too. If you support what we're doing, we're just trying to get even small donations. Doorman, thank you.
Oh, I'm the doorman now.
Yeah, you're the doorman.
Yes, massa.
You've been devoted. You can't even say it right.
How am I supposed to say it?
Don't worry about it, man. So, so if we can even get, $2 or $5 or $10, donations from people, that would help out a lot. It's like we said before, it's easy to get, $5 from 100 people than, $2.50 from 2 people. Is that math right? Yeah, that math is right.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's right.
Of course it's right.
That's how Obama became president. $5 and $10 from people.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
No.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do. So realistically, an hour is not enough time to do all kinds of.
And one show is not a large enough avenue to spread the word the way we're trying to spread the word. The word.
Right. Not the word. The word. Yeah,
Word.
I'm not a really good salesman, but it's just there isn't. Just look online. There are no other AM talk shows or FM talk shows like this in Virginia. I know that for a fact.
You just brought a wave of heat with you.
Why?
I don't know. It just
I look
up like 30
the wave of heat. I thought you were talking about what I say, because I always bring the heat when I speak. No. It's like, the knowledge that I'm imparting.
And now the after show is really getting
See, it's not really. No.
I've been in here talking for like 20 minutes.
And I was talking to Selvin. It's very fascinating. We were talking a little bit about immigration and stuff like that. I think we may have to work that into the
save it for another show.
into the show. But no. But seriously, because part of what we wanted to do was, when we went to an hour, from a half hour and 4 times a month every week, concern was, foolishly I admit, that that's a lot of time that we have to basically come up with stuff to talk about, not knowing.
Really?
Yeah, not knowing. Just once. Can I finish? You were worse than my wife. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now.
Okay, good.
So, I did an extensive search. What we're trying to do is we're trying to replicate the NPR model of getting shows or little segments from other news outlets in the country to give us kind of 2-minute clips and 3 minutes and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. You didn't know a lot of things, but just
But yeah, he still needed my help.
Yes, no, but just listen.
Just cockamamie. No.
So I looked online, and there really wasn't. There aren't other, which is very, very tragic, considering the fact of how long we've been in this country and how easy it is now with social media and this and all that kind of stuff to get a show like this going, as far as the acceptance of it. And we can't. There isn't any little clips that we can get from other shows out there in the country. There are very few, I would say, if any, that's done in a very professional manner.
We're not about to be on par with us.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yes, we are. This little slapstick comedy that we do, that's just, that's because he's nervous on camera, and so that's my way of alleviating his nerves.
Nervous on camera? You should have saw this guy when we were on stage. He was like an ice pop.
Listen, man, I couldn't see the people.
Doesn't matter. You gotta feel the people. It's like when you guys are listening, I can feel you listening.
I know, I can. Yeah. I felt a little nervous because I was like, I was like the whitest thing next to the floor over there. So it's just like, no, that's not true. But so you make transgress, man. Staying on point. So we're not about to pop in tapes from some lecture.
Don't name names.
Yeah, from
No, we're not doing
John
that.
Doe or Harry. We're not doing that.
This is the thing, okay? Gotta understand. You're gonna hear this name more often. Sirraj Media Productions. We around between 2008 and 2010 that I kind of had to let it go by the
way. You want to put that down so it doesn't look like you got a gun in your hand?
Nah,
if you were in New York right now, they pop a cap in your...
And I pop one back.
Because you know. Now when you get 40 shots,
all right, so you're off topic.
Larima.
You're off topic. Don't touch my wallet. All right, so look, man. Surrounded Media Productions, okay? I had an idea because this is the thing. A lot of people complain about Muslims, you know, we're silent in the media. We don't have outlets. We don't have programming. We don't have TV shows. We don't have alternatives to all of the quote-unquote garbage that is being shoved through the radios, through the TVs, through the cell phones. Everybody got smartphones. That you think your kid ain't on YouTube and whatever? He or she is. You know, the iPods, the laptop, whatever. All of these different forms of media. And granted, you know, we're not like going to replace everything that's out there. That's just not it. But we need to have a voice that is active and that is representative of maybe not every Muslim on the planet, but at least the core foundational beliefs and ideologies and outlook of a Muslim typical, if there is a typical
right. Let me
Muslim
give you an example.
person.
To the general non-Muslim population, they don't care. It doesn't matter to them whether you ascribe to the school of thought that says we need to sight the moon or we need to calculate the moon. For them, they don't care.
They don't even know.
No, because to them, whether you sight the moon or you calculate the moon, we're all Muslim and we're all suspicious.
Exactly.
Okay? So we're not getting to that level of detail because for them, it's irrelevant. For them, it's just you have this group of people. And
at least not here. Now this is the thing. If we can grow to a certain point where we have programming that is specific to increasing Islamic knowledge in that particular way, then yes, we can do that. But at the same time, we need to have your funding and your support. That's the only way that we're going to get there. Okay? But yeah, right now, we need to have a voice. And we need to be represented in the media, in that big evil, you know, that red carpet of the white devil, the American devil, whatever. What do we call the black devil? I don't know what
the Great Satan.
The Great Satan. That's it. Okay, the carpet of the Great Satan. Okay, rides. You know, that's how it gets.
Should I say it how it's actually originally said?
What?
Shaitan Bozorg.
Oh, there you go.
The Great Satan.
The Great Satan.
So we have to put that in quotes. Great Satan.
So Great Satan. So so we have to be anti to the Great Satan and represent ourselves. Because we live in America. That's a big thing.
Look at it this way.
We're not a large population, but we have options and we have strengths and we have the ability to do more than what we're doing. So
have you noticed since Obama became president? No, but seriously, I noticed this, and think about this, that you see a lot more African American experts on media outlets.
Not really.
Okay. It's not as much as it should be, but you see a lot more than more than before.
Yeah.
More than before, because there's always this recognition. Oh wait, there's this this dynamic is changing, and so. We don't have to, because I know that there may be a segment that feels that we don't talk about the religious aspect of Islam enough. But to that I say we don't need to be talking about the 5 pillars every single show or every single time and this and all that kind of stuff. The fact that you have a show with some dude named Hadi and Sirraj, anyways, it gives them options to listen to it. And we may be talking about something that's quote unquote secular politics or anything like that,
where we still need to play a part and have a voice.
Those types of things. We talked about a couple weeks ago. We talked about Richmonds public school and inner city schools, and we brought on the principal of Tawhid Prep. And that was pitched as, hey, that's an alternative. We didn't pitch that as, that's an alternative for Muslims to go to. No, that's an alternative for everyone that has children living that live in impoverished areas that have poor schools for whatever reason. And this is an alternative for you to send your kids to that school to get an education that's rooted in it has a moral grounding.
Right.
Like I went to Catholic school, my parents were Muslim, and I guarantee you that there are people out there that are watching this that parents sent them to Catholic schools because they know what that means. And so there's a lot of different things that we're trying to do, and we want there's a lot of people in Richmond, thank God, that I think have the funds and are able to, and it's not like what we need everyone to contribute a small amount rather than a few people contributing large amounts.
Right.
But hey, if you got a lot of money to send, that's fine. That's not
Yeah. We're working on some deals.
Yeah, if you want to stroke a check for a couple thousand, that's fine.
Because what the large sum stuff does, that allows us to move in, because we're trying to establish this as I'm trying to establish, like I said, Sirraj Media back as a company, because that was kind of coming up, I think, simultaneous as he kind of brought me onto the community radio show. So I basically put him under, my foot and said, okay, you're gonna.
Yes, I got abused.
No. I just took advantage of it. No, yeah. but no, this is the thing, because I had a company model, which I'm still working on, and hopefully if we can get the funding, then we can move that entity, because we got to have a home base, we got to have an entity, we got to have that something that stands legally, because that's kind of important here in America, something that stands legally. So when you do have one, you got money coming in, you have where it's going to be going and how it's going to be dispersed, what projects, what plans. And see, once you have that, then it's easier, I think, to come back to the community and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do, this is where we're moving, and we have a legitimate stand, and we can make this happen. But y'all out there, y'all are the ones that have to make it happen. You know what I mean? So right now we're on the community radio show. We would like just little bits of small support from as many people as possible. That'll keep this going. Now don't get us wrong either. We want your $5 or $10, $20. We take 50s and 100s. But also we want your feedback.
We also take blank checks.
So. Blank checks are wonderful. Now when you send a blank, just don't send. I'm not going to say don't send a blank check, but you better have the money there if you send the blank check, okay?
No, for example, as it's taken seriously, what we want to do is we want to apply for nonprofit status.
Right.
To have a board, because then we can apply for funding and grants.
Right.
The problem is it costs close to $1,000, $1,200 to go through the process of becoming getting a nonprofit status.
501c3.
501c3. And so that's not us hiring a lawyer or anything like that. We got all the paperwork and we that's taken care of. It's just a cost to the different agencies that we have to pay, filing fees and things like that. Right now, we don't think that that's a wise use of the money to give $1,200 to become nonprofit status at the risk of not being able to pay the bills to the radio station. So that's kind of where we want to take this, so it becomes self-sufficient in the long run.
Right.
In the long. We got big plans, not for ourselves, but just for kind of this whole.
Got big plans.
Yeah, but no, I mean, this is unfortunately an area I think that collectively as a community we've neglected. Yeah. We've always talked about it. We see it every day.
Right.
We see it every single day. We've seen it every single day since we've been here, years and years and years. But this is the area that's been lacking. For example, how much attention is paid to, or how much funding is going towards the resources of the community going towards Muslim schools or alternative schools, because we realized that there was a need for that. But yet in this particular area of the media, it's just, there are certain people that are doing things, and obviously social media is making that simpler, but nothing in social media has the same kind of reach as traditional media outlets, television and radio. None whatsoever. Even the paper, that's a dying industry, but nothing has the reach that radio does and television.
Right.
And television does. So that's it, man. I'm done with my pitch.
Done with the pitch?
Done with the pitch. So.
And for I don't really know how to classify them, but people that aren't I guess so strong-minded in terms of having a social media presence. Dawah, this is the same thing, okay? That's the nicest way I could put it, okay? There's nobody that should have an issue with supporting media outlets like this, because at the foundation of it, that's what it is. If we're talking, over a topic, and we're giving, our feedback. That was me. We're giving our feedback on it, and it raises questions that we can give clarity and we can give understanding. That's dawah. That's what we're here for. But at the same time, like he said, he doesn't have big plans. I have big plans. I'm a big dreamer.
No. Sorry, hold on. I don't have big plans for myself, for me to personally, get on a platform. That's not the intent. I have big plans on where we want to take this.
Yeah, definitely. But see, I want to be in this. You know what I mean? And that's the other part of the problem. We both work full-time jobs, and we're working a lot.
Yes.
Between us. We're working a lot. So being able to set that time aside, is really something we're squeezing in. And quite frankly, I'm tired of stuff like this that honestly means a heck of a lot more than going out and fixing some equipment. This means more to me, because I think the lasting benefits, especially if it's something that is solidified, the lasting benefits are a lot, more weightier than my general, check every 2 weeks. But I still need a check every 2 weeks. I got a kid and, some bills. I can live quite modestly, but, I still have to be able to live,
Yeah, so it's
But even other things like equipment, bringing other people on. I would actually, if anybody's out there, I would like to get a hold of some young Muslim journalists, either, aspiring from high school or in the college level, that would be interested in helping us with.
We need an intern.
Yeah.
A researcher.
Yeah.
Because
you're not going to get paid.
Yeah, you're not.
You're going to be an intern.
But if you need it to be official, because just helping us out on the side per se might not be official. When we're in talks with the radio station, for it to be as though you're an intern with the radio station and they've assigned it to our show. So we're in talks with them to see if we can kind of formalize that to where you would get either high school credit or it'll satisfy your requirement for some particular college course and things like that.
Right.
And because we have ideas on people that we want to get on the show. For example, there are two brothers. Last names are Abdullah. One of them is named Hassan. One was a defensive back for the Cardinals in the NFL. One was a free safety for the Minnesota Vikings. Last year they fasted during training camp. This year they decided not to go back to the NFL and go to Hajj. We would love to be able to get them on because it's a fascinating story, of people giving up that lucrative kind of money and that lifestyle that they've worked so hard, or that level that they've worked so hard to get to, and giving that up because they feel that they have a higher responsibility and a higher calling. So if you were an intern, then you would basically ask your assistants in trying to basically run them down, effort them. That's the legal term.
I don't think I would have did that though.
Effort. So, but that's the question. That's the question.
You know what I would have did? I would have sent 10 people on Hajj every year, or even 20 people on Hajj every year for like 10 years, and then I would have went after.
Exactly.
But then I could have bought like 3 schools, built like 5 masjids, maybe started a small college somewhere.
Fund some aspiring 2 dudes on a radio show.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's things like that.
Personal opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Very interesting.
Little
so the intern help that we need is being able to contact, and we can kind of guide you in researching and where to go and how to get this and things like that. That we have to do on the side in between meetings.
Right.
Going to meetings on the cell phone.
Or getting pages at 3 o'clock in the morning. When you just got back at 1:30, thinking that you're going to do some research for the show the next morning, and
we might. We may. I'm putting that as a maybe. You may be able to get
You what?
You might be able to come on as a guest to, talk about your experience. I know that,
Who are you talking about?
We get the intern. I mean, we got to give some air time.
I'm down to put people on the radio, man. Like, he's the one that's trying to hog all the mic time. Like, he just has me sitting there shut up for the first 20 minutes of every show. Because I'm not a rude guy. I don't like to cut in.
I'm looking at you.
As long as he's looking at you. Yeah, but you're looking at me, but you're looking at me like, it's like, could you take a breath already?
Listen, I can't. I just, listen. The hamsters. I got multiple hamsters in here.
I told you need to train some of them little guys.
My daughter told me. She came to me and she was like horrified.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Can you believe what the kids at school told me?" I was like, "No." She goes, "They told me that I need to get off the coffee." She's like, "I
Does she drink coffee?
No! She goes, what does that mean? I don't even like coffee. And she's like, my nickname is caffeine. I'm like, yes, you go, girl.
Funny. Wow. Daddy's little girl.
Yep. Her name is Caffeine. I don't know what she's talking about. She's just, the world around you is moving in slow motion, right? And you're just,
This is crazy.
full speed ahead, and,
Yeah.
people just can't keep up.
Head first into the wall, that you know was going to move.
You hit it long enough, when water hits rock long enough, it's going to, But no, but seriously, so seriously, if you really want, we could use your help, multiple people, to,
I actually got a guy that I wanted to talk to today, if I can track him down.
So, all right. So we didn't get to talk about the debate this week, but
I mean, Ryan got smashed. He looked like a little pansy sitting at the desk, man. He just,
he was very nervous.
Biden was just eating him, just eating him. There's no other way to explain it. There was no.
I don't think Biden even stopped to take a breath. He was just ready to go.
It was funny because you would see him. He was sitting there, and Ryan would say something. He was like. It just looked like I'm about to kill you now. I was like, man.
They brought on. I saw this analysis when they do like body language analysis and things like that, and they said that when Ryan came out, his hand was just firm and up like this, and that, showing that I'm the big dog in the house. And then she said,
that's what that means.
That's
put it firm and up.
When you put it firm and straight up, it's like that's like and then Biden had it a little bit. I would love to know what he told him in his ear, like just
like, you're not coming out of here alive.
or something else. Biden doesn't afraid
I got you about 27 years, right? Your brain is fully developed.
And then the psychiatrist that studies kind of body language and stuff like that, because the reporter asked, why is he drinking so much water? And she said that's a sign of being nervous, because when you're nervous, your mouth dries up.
I can attest to that.
And you drink a lot of water. And she said, look, 90 seconds before he sat down, he was backstage. So how is it that as soon as he sits down, he's thirsty to get a drink of water? I was like, yeah, he was just,
I could be like when I was doing stage stuff, man, back in my multi-million-dollar, career. I mean, like, that would happen. Like, you can be on stage, a bunch of times, even in the month, and it's like sometimes you go out there and then, like literally the first 30 seconds, your mouth turns into a desert. And it's like you feel like your top lip is like sticking to your teeth. But the thing, like, when you go back and look at the video, like, it looks not like you don't really notice, but in your mind, it's just like... So it's like you start coming out with a bottle of water, and it's just, that's just the natural thing.
Because it gives you a natural distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
People are like, oh, poor dude, he just has some water.
Yeah, no.
Meanwhile, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I won't be able to talk in like 2 seconds. But then after 5-10 minutes after, once you relax, man, everything just kind of goes back to normal.
I'm glad that Biden pinned him down.
He had to.
On those deductions.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, the earned income credit, the credit that you get for college tuition, the mortgage the interest on the mortgage for your home, interest on your student loans, gone. If you elect Romney and Ryan.
R&R.
R&R. That's what's going to happen. R&R, Republican, triple R. But because that's what they mean when they talk about deductions and loopholes, right? Because here's the thing. If you're in the top earning income tax bracket, you're making more than $250 or $500 or $1 million, right? And you send your kid to college, right? If they take that deduction away, that does not have that much of an impact on you, as it does if you're making $50,000 a year and you're sending your kids to college, and you can deduct that tuition.
Yep.
All right? That's what it means. Cutting taxes does not have the same effect on all people at the same level. Yep. If you cut 10%.
And that's why, Obama was saying, like, people making over $1 million, you're not going to be affected. Your life is fine. You can pay a higher tax.
It's not. If I have $100 and I'm paying 1% of that, that's only $1. That's not a lot, right? However, if I have $10 and I'm paying 1%, that's $1.
What?
If I have $10 and I pay 1%, that's $1. That's leaving me with $9. And so,
yeah.
1%.
Yeah, $10.
Yeah, you're right. My mouth is up. Yeah, you gotta edit this out. Cut this part out. Forget about that. You gotta cut this out.
Fail.
You gotta. I am so sleepy. My mind. Just,
this is why I tell this guy I gotta handle the money. Like I need a money report. I don't know what this guy's doing with the funds.
Oh yeah, listen. Yeah,
still owe me, man.
I know.
We'll bring that up in like 15 minutes.
If you make $100.
Here we go. Let's try it again. Round 2.
Round 2. Ding, 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 ding. If you got $100 and you have to pay 50% in taxes, that's $50 gone, right? But if you
what?
Yeah, $50 gone.
Out of what?
Out of 100.
You're paying 50% tax.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have $50 left over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's major.
Right.
You're making $1 million.
Right.
$2
Exactly.
million,
But if you only make $10 and 50% is going to the taxes, you got $5 left. So who's in a better situation to do something with? $5 or $50?
Yeah,
that's the problem, huh? No, but $50,000 or $5 million. $5 million.
$5 million.
$5 million.
Yeah.
You know, that's,
yeah, like
that's
if you make $10 million and now I guess now on the flip side, I can still see that it's like, okay, like you're really taking $5 million away from me. That would still kind of piss me off. My thing is, see, this is where Muslim folk need to step in. I think everybody just needs to pay
a flat tax.
That 3%, and the government needs to find its own way of making money.
That's where the 3% needs to go to. If you pay the
3% needs to go to the homeless folks.
No,
and
I know.
people
No,
that
part
need
of
money. And in fact, you know what? Do this. Make it a flat 5%.
Right.
3% goes back into the economy, the people that need it. 2% goes to the government. If the government can't run off with 2% of a whole heck of a lot of money in the company, guess what? You're too big.
Part of the economic philosophy of the Republicans is that you give people more money that they have of their own that they've made, and they'll spend it more, right? And they'll invest and do things like that. Now, what he's referring to is that the 2.5% as part of the zakat or the alms that we give, that's not on money that you're spending. That's not on your income. So that, in a sense, is doing what that notion that the Republicans are trying to do, but they're going at it in a backwards way, because that if you do it at 2.5% on, let's say, just your savings, right? The way the zakat is. I mean, I'm generalizing here.
Basically off of your net worth.
Exactly. Then that encourages what? If you don't want to pay more taxes on your savings and your net worth, then you do what? You either donate it to charity, or you spend it more, spurring the economy, or if you save it, you have to pay the tax on it, and that's income for the taxes. And so it's a that's all for all you people out there. That's all part of Sharia.
Get over it, man.
We need to have that kind of music. Dun, dun, dun. No, but seriously, I think so.
We should come up with a plan.
An economic plan?
Yeah, we should.
Man, that's way. Listen, I admit, not a lot of things are over my head, but that is over my head.
We gotta simplify, man.
We do.
They make it too complex.
So Ali Farouk that we interviewed today, he's actually coming back on the 5th. On the 5th of November. 5th. Murder Man for the 5th flow.
You gotta do that every
5th flow. Did I do that before too?
Alright, yes, man.
But anyhow, so he actually did absentee ballot, so it'll be interesting to see what he thinks about not being able to be involved in all the political stuff in the last 24 days, 20 days left.
No, what's today? Today's let's do that.
Oh, Monday, last day to register to vote. Should have mentioned that on the radio.
If you don't know by now, you slacking anyway.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, come on, bros. Let's go.
I said bros, man.
Bros, everyone, brothers, sisters. Everyone. Just register, man. Register.
Should have been registered.
I know.
Should have registered.
Listen.
When you turned 18, you should have been registered.
Right. And when you register, you sign up for selective services, which is the law. But listen, okay. So you go vote. Don't expect stuff to change for you. It's not. At the local level, it's not. I'm going to just tell you something. The foolishness that they tell youth is go vote, it's going to have a voice. Yes, it does. Because what it does, in the long term, in the long run, it puts us on the map as a community to say, oh, listen, these people here vote. We need to go talk to them.
No.
Do you know the new outreach that Obama is doing? Guess what group he's having outreach to now? Recently?
I know, man. He's been kicking it with the Hispanics pretty strong.
The Jews.
The Jews. I mean,
women.
They big anyway.
Women.
Yeah, women. He's always been.
So what group would you think? Just now, he's having outreach towards.
I mean, either the gay, lesbian folks or...
That he hasn't done with before.
I don't know, the Gothics?
No, Muslims, man. You're not getting it. It was a set. It was a softball.
Oh.
He is now...
But I wouldn't say that. I think he's always... I mean, he's...
More so than he was doing before. Why do you think that is?
I'll be honest. I think we heard more stuff about him dealing with Muslims more back in between like 08 and 010.
Correct. Than now.
I think
so
maybe he's revamping it up a little bit.
You know why? Because the race is so tight.
Yeah,
the race is so close. Everybody. So Brian Moran, who we met at the first debate, the vice president debate, he's actually hosting a town hall at Adams Center in D.C. tomorrow. $500 a pop. You want to go?
Woo! $500. See, that's that political money right there. Goodness gracious.
It's actually for Tim Kaine, but no. I'm sorry. It's for Obama. It is for Obama because he's a surrogate for him. Yes.
$500.
$500.
I'm gonna need them to tighten up.
But the point is that it
$500 or so. What kind of food they say?
Shows not $500 worth of food. I'm telling you that. It shows on the political map that yes, this segment of the population votes and they care about what's going on. So we need to wrap that up.
Yeah, man.
Community radio show WLEE.
News Talk.
990.
Word.
Look us up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Twitter.
On YouTube. Yeah, Twitter, Com Radio 990. We got to get the link for. I'm about to redo our website because I'm really jealous. No, we're not cutting. I'm really jealous of my wife's website. It's really nice.
Oh, that's okay.
But see, then we can put the PayPal link in the site. Okay. Get that money because, like I said, we need to have money.
Speaking of money, let's go to the ATM. So
didn't you get my text message, man? I was like, dude.
You gotta go to the bank.
Yeah. I was going to the bank before. What time is it? What? Did you go? Did they close? I got a tweet. Alright, community radio show. Bukhari Sirraj, #1 man. Scott Muhammad Hadi.
I'm the brains of
number 3. I'm still finding
number 50.
I'm trying to find number 2. That's what he thinks. Remember, Siraj Music Productions. We're coming back. 2012, 2013. Vote. Yeah, that's it.